Hey YouTube brothers and sisters, I just wanted to come on here. I feel like this is a much needed video. I know there are some attacks going on YouTube where, people are trying to instill beliefs into one brother or sister and try to make maybe what their intentions are maybe pure, but what is becoming of it is not. It is not of God to cast judgment on one another. It is not our responsibility to look at the outward appearance of people and cast a judgment. Because, see, you're taking Jesus's cross from him. He came to the world to judge us all as sinners. We're all sinners until we're born again believers in Christ. And, Jesus judges our heart. He looks on the inside. He doesn't look on the outward appearances. He doesn't care that somebody looks wealthy or somebody looks poor. He doesn't care that somebody is fat or somebody is thin. Everybody has different backgrounds, and to cast judgment on one brother or sister, maybe that somebody is too thin or too pretty, it would be like going to a brother or sister that is overweight and saying you're fat and you covet food. It's just not right. There's no unity in it, and there's division in it, and it causes strife. And if you're causing strife, you're not acting like a child of God. And the devil will get in a believer's heart, and he will try to make them think a certain way or believe a certain thing. And that's usually the problem is with the believer that is casting the judgment. So let's always be mindful of what we say. Jesus told us that it is not what goes in, but what goes out of our mouth that defiles a man. Our mouths are so wicked, and we need to be mindful to hold our tongues. This is something that we should do every day. Personally, I battle with it. I don't ever want to act like a child of the enemy. I want to act like a child of God. And God, He does it with love. And, if you feel like there is a brother or sister on here that has been attacking you, just pray for them. Pray that God will open their eyes and see and cast a shadow between that person and the enemy, because obviously the enemy has an influence over them. This is not directed towards any one person. I know that I've gotten multiple messages from some of my subscribers personally that have asked me personally to pray for them, because there's these people that are putting themselves above one another. And whether or not we're going to be whatever in heaven as far as the bride or the 144, that's for God to make the decision on. We should not abase ourselves above one another. It's not of Him to do that. We should come to Him humbly with humility. And we all are aware of our own sin as far as being believers in Him. We shouldn't try to set somebody else's sin straight for them or address it, because you don't know that person. You don't know what they've been going through. You don't know if that is a poor widow that is casting in her last 2 mites. You don't know that. God does, though. So if it bothers you enough to feel like you need to address it, take it to the Lord, because He can do things that you can't, and it's not really your spot or your job as a child of God to do that. In fact, it really looks bad as far as our walk with the Father. And I'm trying to be very mindful of what I say, because I don't want to offend anybody. I love every one of you guys, and I know the ones that are listening are my subscribers, and you guys seem to be the cream of the crop, so I would never want you to feel like this was directed towards you. This is to encourage you, because I know a few of you have gotten messages like these. Um, but if somebody looks at you and automatically thinks that you are a witch or an adulteress or a just cast a judgment on you, usually that person is casting that judgment because they are acting out of that sin. In order to be mindful of that or to think like that, it's got to be on their mind, or with an insecurity they may have with themselves. So that's something we should pray for them about. I know that if I looked at another girl and thought that she looked adulterous or spiritually sinful, maybe, I would question my motives, because I would be acting out in adultery to be thinking that because she dresses a certain way that she's an adulteress. I know if a man looks at a woman and says, oh, well, she looks too revealing, she needs to cover herself up. I'm just using these as examples. He's acting out in adultery. He is sinning at the fact that he's already put that in his mind. And if you're a true brother, you shouldn't be thinking like that. I mean, who wants to think about adultery about their sister or their brother? It's just there's got to be a line drawn, guys. And there are some things that are of God, and there are some things that God uses for us, but the devil will play on it, and he'll infiltrate, and he'll try to get in and cause a delusion, maybe, or he'll cause a contention with that person. So just be very careful about what you say to your brothers and sisters, and always be mindful that if they are true believers and they're sent of the Lord, that you're talking against the Father. You're talking against the Holy Spirit, and that's just as bad as blaspheming. So always be mindful not to take away from the Scriptures or to add to. You know your job as a child, and if it wasn't for God's grace and His mercy on you, you would have never been saved. I do want to share with you, this is a weapon for all those that have been getting, ugly messages, or just dealing with certain circumstances at work or at school where people are just being so ugly. I'm going to read to you Psalms 35 real quick, and I hope this blesses you as it did me. It says, "Plead my cause, O Lord, with them that strive with me. Fight against them that fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler, and stand up for mine help. Draw out also the spear, and stop the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, I am thy salvation. Let them be confounded, and put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt. Let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the angel of the Lord chase them. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of the Lord persecute them. For without cause have they hid me from their net in a pit, which without cause they have digged for my soul. Let destruction come upon him at unawares, and let his net that he hath hid catch himself. Into that very destruction let him fall. And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord, and it shall rejoice in his salvation. All my bones shall say, Lord, who is like unto thee, which deliverest the poor from him that is too strong for him, yea, the poor and the needy from him that spoileth him? False witnesses did rise up. They laid to my charge things that I knew not. They rewarded me evil for good, to the spoiling of my soul. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting, and my prayer returneth into my own bosom. I behaved myself as though he had been my friend or brother. I bowed down heavily, as one that mourneth for his mother. But in mine adversity they rejoiced and gathered themselves together. Yea, the abjects gathered themselves together against me, and I knew it not. They did tear me and ceased not, with hypocritical mockers in feast, and they gnashed upon me with their teeth. Lord, how long wilt thou look on? Rescue my soul from their destructions, my darling from the lions. I will give thee thanks in the great congregation. I will praise thee among much people. Let not them that are mine enemies wrongfully rejoice over me, neither let them wink with the eye that hate me without a cause. For they speak not peace, but they devise deceitful matters against them that are quiet in the land. Yea, they opened their mouth wide against me and said, Aha, aha, our eye has seen it. This thou hast seen, O Lord, keep not silence. O Lord, be not far from me. Stir up thyself and awake to my judgment, even unto my cause, my God and my Lord. Judge me, O Lord my God, according to thy righteousness, and let them not rejoice over me. Let them not say in their hearts, Ah, so would we have it. Let them say not, We have swallowed him up. Let them be ashamed and brought to confusion together that rejoice at mine hurt. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor that magnify themselves against me. Let them shout for joy and be glad that favor my righteousness' cause. Yea, let them say continually, Let the Lord be magnified, which hath pleasure in the prosperity of his servant. And my tongue shall speak of thy righteousness and thy praise all the day long. Guys, that is a psalm of course, of a weapon. It's Psalms 35, and it's really used to talk. It's more of a weapon to speak out against the enemies that try to hurt you, or the ones that falsely accuse. And I'll put up a few other scriptures that go similar to these. Don't let other brothers and sisters oppress you. Don't let them cast judgment on you that is false. Don't let it bother you. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Speak a psalms, sing a psalms, and know that the Lord is gathering his sheep in unity and in love. And if a brother or sister has a problem and they come to you and they reach out to you for something, you're more than welcome to address that with them. But we should be mindful not to cast judgments. Okay? I love you guys, and I'm praying blessings on all of you. Hope that you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.